Hi everyone, this is the video number 9 of physics chapter number 4. Today we will study motion of a charge in uniform magnetic field. So in uniform magnetic field, if charge is moving, then which type of motion it will do, that we will see today. First of all, suppose there is magnetic field, uniform magnetic field like this in inward direction. I am showing the uniform magnetic field B. Suppose it is like this, uniform magnetic field B. And now one charge is entering into this magnetic field. Okay, suppose one charge is entering into this magnetic field. Now there are three types of cases so that charge will enter in this uniform magnetic field. First case, in the direction of the magnetic field or parallel to the magnetic field, it can enter into the magnetic field. Suppose we have one charge Q and it is entering like this. See, magnetic field is inward direction, and suppose charge is also entering in this direction into the uniform magnetic field. So we can say that first case is charge is entering parallel to magnetic field B. Okay, so suppose the velocity of charge is inward to the plane or outward to the plane. So we can say that it is parallel or anti-parallel. So if charge is entering parallel to the magnetic field, then we can say that theta will be 0, the angle between magnetic field and velocity. What is theta? Theta is angle between magnetic field and velocity. Okay, now what will be the magnetic force? Magnetic force is Q V cross B. Angle is 0, so we can say that QVB sin 0 is 0, so magnetic force is C is 0. So charge will not do anything, charge will not deviate any moment, it will go same as initial velocity in this magnetic field. Okay, so if charge is coming into this uniform magnetic field B with some velocity v, then it will continue its movement with its velocity v without deviation. Okay, when the charge is entering parallel to the magnetic field. Okay, so if charge is entering in this direction, inward direction or outward direction, then it will continue its motion with its initial velocity v. It will not deviate because the magnetic force acting on it is 0. Now second option is charge is entering perpendicular to magnetic field. Okay, so suppose charge is entering Q with velocity v like this. Okay, so here charge is entering with velocity v but perpendicular to the magnetic field. Okay, so we can say that theta will be is equals to 90 degree. If theta is equals to 90 degree, then magnetic force Fm is equals to Q V cross B, means it is QVB sin 90, and QVB sin 90 means QVB. Okay, so if charge is entering into the magnetic field perpendicular to the magnetic field, then on this charge there will be this much force QVB. Okay, and remember this magnetic force is acting as a centripetal force. This magnetic force is acting as a centripetal force Fc for this charge, and due to this centripetal force, this charge will be in circular motion. Okay, due to this centripetal force, it will be now in circular motion. Okay, so this is the second case. So remember, when charge is entering perpendicular to the magnetic field into the magnetic field, then on this charge there is magnetic force acting, and it is act as a centripetal force, and due to that centripetal force, this charge will be in circular motion in this uniform magnetic field. Okay, this is important case. Remember this. We will use this case in cyclotron also. Okay, so I am writing the main conclusion. This force is acting as a centripetal force, so that charge will be in circular motion in uniform magnetic field. So we have studied the two cases. First is when charge is entering parallel to the magnetic field. When it is entering parallel to the magnetic field, there is no effect on the charge, and charge will continue its motion with the same velocity, initial velocity. But in second case, when charge is entering perpendicular to the magnetic field, then the magnetic force acting on it is QVB, and this force is acting as a centripetal force, and due to the centrifugal force, this charge is in the circular motion. Okay, now for circular motion, recall the 11th standard theory of the uniform circular motion. Okay, and also remember that this charge will be in circular motion, but it will be in uniform circular motion. Okay, because this force is uniform, QVB, so it will be in uniform circular motion. Now from standard 11, for uniform circular motion, you know that centripetal force Fc is equals to, what is the formula? mv square by r, where m is mass, v is velocity, and r is radius. Here, as a centripetal force, the force is QEB, so we can say that QVB is equals to the mv square by r. One v will be cancelled out. This v is also velocity, this v is velocity, so we can say that QB is equals to mv upon r, so that we can say that r is equals to mv by QB. This is the formula of the radius of the uniform circular motion that will be act by charge. Okay, this is the formula of radius. Now this radius r is depending on, see, velocity v, and due to velocity it is also depending on momentum. So if velocity of charge is changing, then its radius will also change. So if momentum is change of charge, then its radius will also change. Okay, simply from formula we can say that if velocity increases, then radius of the charge will also increases. Okay, so radius is depending on velocity. Another formula, that is the formula of frequency. You know that there is the relation between linear velocity and angular velocity. Okay, the relation is v is equals to r omega, where v is linear velocity and omega is angular velocity. Now we also know that what is the formula of omega, that is the 2 pi f. From again standard element, omega is equals to 2 pi f. Omega is angular frequency, f is frequency or linear frequency, so r into omega is equals to 2 pi f. Okay, now what is the formula of velocity from this equation of radius? See, suppose this is the equation number 1, then we can say that velocity is equals to, we can put r QB upon m is equals to r into 2 pi f. Okay, we have placed the formula of the velocity from this equation number 1. 1 r is cancelled, 1 r is cancelled out, so we can say that f is equals to QB upon 2 pi m. This is the formula of the frequency of the charge. Okay, see here charge is in uniform circular motion. charge is in uniform circular motion, so it should have some frequency, and this frequency is equals to the qb upon 2 pi m, where q is charge, b is magnetic field, m is mass. Now here see that frequency is independent of velocity. Okay, so if velocity increases but frequency will be remains constant, frequency will not change. Okay, so if velocity increases, then radius of the uniform circular motion of charge will be increased, but frequency will not change, frequency will be constant. Okay, so remember these two formula from this theory. These two formulas are important formulas and we will use them in numericals. Now see, in this case there is, suppose you are asked one question, that suppose that is the uniform circular motion, uniform magnetic field. Okay, it is the inward of b, one charge is entering q with velocity v perpendicular to the magnetic field. Okay, again there is the uniform magnetic field b, one charge q is entering into this magnetic field with velocity v. Now question is what is the first question, what is the work done, by charge, okay. See, work done is equals to actually force into displacement, but here if you will see clearly that force and displacement both will perpendicular to each other. See, this charge will be in uniform circular motion like this, so you can also say that the net displacement will be 0, and if net displacement is 0, then work done is also 0. Second thing, here force will be in upward direction. See, velocity x direction, velocity is in x direction, magnetic field is in z direction, so force will be in upward direction, this is the direction of force, and at this point displacement will be in this direction, so 90 degree, cos 90 0, so work done is 0. Remember this. Okay, if charge is entering perpendicular to the magnetic field, then work done by charge will be 0. Then second b, suppose the charge is entering again into the uniform magnetic field, and it completes the half revolution, and suppose it is completing half revolution, means it is reaching from this point A to this point B. Okay, from this point A to point B, then what will be change in momentum? What will be the change in momentum? Or question is, change in momentum will be 0 or it will be non-zero? Main question is the change in momentum will be 0 or non-zero. Now what is the formula of momentum? P is equals to mv. Now we will say that here charge is in uniform circular motion, so velocity is constant. If velocity is constant, so there will be no change in momentum. But remember, momentum is vector quantity. So at point A, the direction of velocity is upward direction. At point B, velocity direction is downward direction. So due to that vector quantity, velocity is vector quantity, yes, there will be change in momentum. It will be non-zero. Okay, so change in momentum delta P will be non-zero. Okay, we can get the some answer of the change in momentum. Now see, suppose we are asked change in kinetic energy. Now formula of kinetic energy is half mv square. Here again there is v square, v velocity. In this uniform circular motion, velocity is constant. In this uniform circular motion, velocity is constant and kinetic energy is scalar quantity. If velocity is constant, then initial velocity and final velocity at point A and at point B, the velocity will be same, the magnitude of velocity will be same. So kinetic energy at point 1 and at point 2, or at point A and at point B will be same. So we can say that change in kinetic energy will be 0. Here see again, change in momentum is non-zero. Why? Because momentum is vector quantity, but change in kinetic energy is 0. Why? Because kinetic energy is scalar quantity. Okay, So this is the important theory. Now see next. Now suppose charge is entering into this uniform magnetic field at some angle. Okay, it is not entering perpendicular to the magnetic field and also not entering parallel to the magnetic field, but it is entering with some angle. Okay, suppose it making angle theta. Theta is the angle between magnetic field and velocity of charge. Then which type of motion charge will conduct? See, suppose this is the velocity of charge v, so it is making angle theta with the magnetic field. Now this velocity has two components. One component is these two components. From these two components there is 2D figure. In 3D figure you can understand that from these two components one component will be parallel to the magnetic field. Okay, one component will be parallel to the magnetic field and another component will be perpendicular to the magnetic field. Okay, so we can say that velocity is of two components. So two components is first component is parallel to magnetic field. Now if velocity is parallel to magnetic field, then it will not deviate, charge will not deviate, it will continue its straight motion. So the magnetic force will be 0 due to this component of velocity, and it will continue its straight motion. But charge will continue its straight motion due to this parallel component of velocity. Second is perpendicular to magnetic field component. Now due to this perpendicular component there will be some magnetic force, and this magnetic force is acting as a centripetal force, and due to this centripetal force it will be means charge will be in circular motion. Okay, so now how totally charge will conduct its motion? So it will like this helical. Okay, it will go ahead also and it will also complete the circular motion. Okay, so we have studied the three types of motion of charge in magnetic field. First is, if charge is entering parallel to the magnetic field, then charge will continue its straight motion without any deviation. Second, charge is entering perpendicular to the magnetic field, then charge will be in uniform circular motion in uniform magnetic field. And third, this is the third case. Okay, then third case is, if charge is entering at any angle theta with uniform magnetic field, then the velocity has two components, and due to that two component it will be in helical motion. Overall it will be in helical or in helix motion. Okay, it will go ahead also and it will rotate also like this. Okay, so these are three types of motion of charge in magnetic field. Now we will see one numerical, that is the illustration number 4.3. We are given that there is the magnetic field of 6 into 10 raised to minus 4 Tesla, and in this uniform magnetic field charge is entering perpendicularly with velocity 3 into 10 raised to 7 meter per second. Between this there is the angle 90 degree, or this charge is entering perpendicularly. Okay, and the charge is given electron. Charge is given electron, that is charge 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb, and we are asked to find out the radius of the electron, okay, and the frequency of the electron, and also we are asked to find out the energy. of the electron. Okay, see, this is the easy example. You can put the formula and find the answer. Suppose first radius of the electron. See, this is what the case happening. Suppose it is uniform magnetic field and charge is entering, this charge electron, it is entering perpendicular to the magnetic field, then it will be in uniform circular motion. Okay, this uniform circular motion has radius. So first radius, you can find out the radius by putting the formula number 1. What is the formula number 1? That is the mv upon qb. Okay, see, there are two formulas, radius mv upon qb and frequency qb upon 2 pi f. So first r is equals to mv upon qb, put all the formulas. Mass of electron, that is the 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31. V velocity, that is the 3 into 10 raised to 7. Q, that is the charge, 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. And B, that is the magnetic field, 6 into 10 raised to minus 4. By calculation you can find out the answer of radius. Second, frequency, normal circular linear frequency fb is equals to qb upon 2 pi m. Again you can put all the values and you can find the answer. The unit of frequency will be hertz, unit of radius will be meter, and third, energy. Here electron will having the kinetic energy, and what is the formula of kinetic energy? That is the half mv square. Again you can put the value of mass and velocity and you can find out the answer in joule. Okay, you are asked to find out the energy actually in kilo electrovolt, but what is electrovolt, that you will study in the portion part 2 of the physics. So here you should only find out the answer of energy at least in joule. Okay, thank you.